coming up on Relatables.
Oh!
And it hurt. And it hurt to the core, bro. Let me tell you.
That hurt the soul.
I didn't fall asleep for hours that night.
Jake and Artie, the Relatables party. Relatables.
The Relatables podcast is hosted by myself, Oddie Clark, aka
Mummy.
and my partner in crime, the Patrick to my SpongeBob, Jake Craig, aka Daddy,
This argument
is ongoing forever.
I am not Patrick.
Yes, you are.
Not Patrick.
Yes, you are.
Who gets more girls? Wait, I have a girlfriend.
You live under. Yeah, that's why you're Patrick, mate. You live
Yeah, I'm
under
going to
a
prove I'm
rock.
not Patrick. All right. We've said it a few times. We hear it a lot. Girls think men put chapstick on wrong.
They do. Prove them wrong, Jake. Prove them wrong. Prove
No,
them
no
wrong.
free promo. If you're not on, I'm about to put some chapstick on if you're on Spotify and not on YouTube.
Prove them wrong, Patrick.
All
Prove
right.
them wrong. Move those lips, mate. Move them. Move those lips. Chapped and ready to talk?
Chapped and ready to chat.
Well, today, do you want to start with Make Them Say?
Yes!
We're about to give away another hat.
Let's go.
We gave one last week away to Matt and we didn't play Make Them Say because we felt nice.
First hat had to be, just give it to him.
But today, we are calling McKaylee.
Yes.
And we are going to try and make her say the word. We've got a random generator. Jake's got it right now. What
All
word
right.
is it, Jake?
We're generate. Needle.
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 Needle. Okay.
Yeah. It's hard.
Needle. Dude.
hard.
Needle. What's
hard.
the word? Just what's needle? Okay.
Here's my tactic, though. Here's my tactic. All right.
I don't know how we're going to put needle into it.
We open it up with, hey, McKaylee, it's us. All right.
Yeah.
She knows there's a chance she's playing Make Them Say.
Yeah.
But also, like, they listen to the podcast. They're going to be like, oh, cool, they're calling me. All right. We just open it up with, like, McKaylee, what are those things that you get when you get an injection?
Oh.
See if she just goes, you mean a needle? And we're like, sorry, love, you don't win.
Is that your game plan? Okay. If that doesn't work, we have the hats between us. Needle to sew.
Ooh.
That's our backup. If she doesn't say it.
Yeah. Timer.
Timer.
From when she answers, I'll have a 1 minute timer. You can a minute?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Like I say tactics wise, thanks for listening. Thanks for putting your number in.
Yeah. Okay, we ready?
Fuck, this is going to be hard.
McKaylee, we're calling her. Hope she picks up. My phone's on no caller ID. Are you going first straight up with that?
A little chat first.
Hey, it's McKaylee.
McKaylee, it's Oddie and Jake from the Relatables. How are you going?
Hey, good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. You've just won yourself a hat.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you so much.
McKaylee, where are you?
I'm at work.
Where do you work?
In childcare.
Childcare.
Oh.
Okay. Oddie and I have had a little
in
debate.
Newcastle.
A little debate before the show that we were going to get you to settle. When getting an injection, what is it called? Oddie and I have got one each of what we think it's called, but it's different. What would you call it?
Like when getting an injection, like a needle or something.
Yes, we got you.
McKaylee,
Oh,
you just lost. Make them say.
damn.
You were so
I was
excited.
nearly going to say like an immunization.
Oh, we're sorry, McKaylee. I feel so
I
bad.
feel terrible.
Oh, sorry, McKaylee. That's
That's okay.
maybe next time.
Damn. At least I got a hoodie.
Oh, you got a hoodie.
From you guys last night.
Shit, she bought a hoodie.
we might cut this out. We might slip in a hat, not tell anyone.
I would chose Oddie's side.
Yes, pink. Let's go.
Yeah, no hat for you.
Well, thank you, thank you very much for ordering a hoodie, and we wish you a good day.
Thank you. You too, guys. Love the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bro,
Yo.
you nailed that. I thought you were going to go straight into do kids need injections, but you just asked the question straight up.
I forgot to set the timer, but we didn't need it.
You were on your stuff. I was like, oh, he's going for it. He's going for it.
It's easier to do to random people. We've just done it to people we know. So they know we're on a podcast. They know, she knows we're on the podcast, but also I knew in the heat of the moment, she'd be like, oh, they're asking me a question. I'm just going to be like, no.
I felt so awkward saying, well, you don't get anything now.
Yeah, I know. I was like, the rejection is like, but you got to be smart. You got to just like shut your mouth.
They're one of our fans though, because I'm like, I feel so bad. But what a way to start the potty.
That's fun.
I'm hyped after
fun.
that. Was great. Oh.
Alrighty, the other day, I had a memory, like an embarrassing memory
On
of
Snapchat?
something because...
Or just in your head?
Well, just in my head because something happened where I heard about someone getting like friend zoned. All right. And I remember one time I got friend zoned.
Really?
And I got friend zoned without being actually told word for word that I was friend zoned.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jake Craig got friend zoned.
So back in the day, all right, school, year 9. Yeah?
You were still a little ugly, as you like to say.
Year 9. All right, had a crush on this girl.
Yeah.
Name dropping? Maybe not actually. Had
no.
a crush on this girl and started messaging her as you do in year 9. You don't talk to her in person.
I didn't talk to girls, mate.
Ew. Disgusting. What am I going to say? Hey, how are you? That's stupid. Okay. Message her. Obviously trying to message her. And the way that you back in the day would hear around where we live at least is you start messaging a girl and then, you know, chat's flowing. But then when you go to bed, so you go, I'm going to go to sleep. Good night, XX.
Double
or
X.
or just an X, all right?
And
then if they send an X back, linked. You're talking. You're tuning. We call it tuning. You're a couple.
that is the
All right, she's off limits. You're off limits.
that's the equivalent of sex in United.
Facts, bro. All right,
Sex.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
So I do that. All right, I do it, and I get a reply. No dramas. Good night. Smiley face.
Oh!
And it hurt. And it hurt to the core, bro. Let me tell you.
That hurt the soul.
I didn't fall asleep 4 hours that night. It sucked. Showing my face at school the next day, somehow everyone knew.
Yeah.
Fuck knows how.
I snitched, mate. I snitched.
But I was devo.
So you got friend zoned.
So the IG question of the week this week was, how did you tell him he's just a friend without actually telling him he's just a friend?
And I have one of when I got friend zoned. She said to me, you know this. This is like year maybe 8 or 9. 2, I think. Yeah, it would have been about the same time. And she said, he's too nice.
Oh, I remember. Oh,
I was too nice.
I hate that one.
I was too nice.
Oh, I hate that
Then we
one.
didn't get any of them, but that's a recurring one. How could someone be too nice, huh? That's right.
I hate that.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you want me to do? Treat women badly? Like, come on.
Yeah, now and now she's looking back and she's like, he is too nice and I need it. Yeah. Fuck. Single. Yeah. I bet she's single. Fucking hell. All right, I'll go first. Her points to a girl. Quote, I think she's into you. You should go for it.
Oh, straight up. That one doesn't hurt too much.
I don't know, though.
Because
it's
you're
like,
kind of like, oh, yeah, she's into me. Like, oh, you get distracted a little bit.
Maybe actually, yeah. A guy could just be like, well, that one's into me, so I'll just go there.
Yeah.
True. That's actually a good point.
Okay, my turn. I want you to be the guy and I'll be the girl.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, buddy. I gave a high five to anyone listening.
Oh, that's so gnarly.
Oh, I couldn't drop a high five.
So gnarly. How did you tell him he was just a friend without actually telling him? Asked him to look at my nudes to make sure they're good enough before I send them to an actual boy.
That's so misleading. I would not clock onto that. I would be like, I am winning.
Yeah, true.
I would be like, yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
No way.
Fair enough.
You just-
Does he know you're sending them to another boy?
Yeah. Like, just make sure these are good. I would be thinking she's playing a little game that she wants me.
Fair.
Wants me to see like how good it is.
Yeah, I'd go for a kiss.
Yeah,
I'd go for a kiss.
That one would not work.
Or I'd send one back.
Okay, this one's good. Ending phone with "Love you, Queen."
Fuck, bro. That's actually That's actually really, really good.
Imagine thinking you're talking to a girl and she just goes, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go to bed. Good night." And she's like, "Love you, Queen."
I'd be questioning my own sexuality.
So would
I'd
I.
be like, what is she? Who does she think I am? But also, any in is an in is an in.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
She might be comfortable with sleepovers with me. I couldn't imagine having sex with you. It'd feel like incest.
What? So that's basically like my one. You're like a brother to me. That's on another level. That's
The
like
creative way of saying you're like a brother to me.
That's like to get to the point.
I love it.
It's like incest. Oh, I'm actually going to go off that. Had sex with his brother.
Oh my God. That's not even saying how did you tell him he's a friend. That's saying how do you tell him he's nothing.
Yeah, true.
How did you tell him he was just a friend without actually telling him? I said to him, if we aren't married by 40, we can get married.
Oh, I swear.
I think that's a good one, bud.
I think I did that in like year 7 or 8, eh?
Really?
Yeah. Did you ever have like a fling with a girl who you never like thought you were going to date, and then you were just friends, and you're like, if we're both single at 40, we'll get married?
One time,
I think I did that.
I was at like a house party when I was younger one time, and the person hosting it, like their parents were there. Their parents were cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. They had friends there too. Whatever. They were drinking, and this girl's mum, who I was friends with, was talking about how she just wants like someone nice for her daughter. And I was like, how about this? If neither one of us are married at 40, then we'll go for it. And she goes, well, I don't want that. She's like, I don't want someone to just marry her because they didn't get anyone else. And I was like, that's kind of fair enough.
That's a good point. Jake's trying to do some heroic act and it just looks worse.
This one you're going to love.
Okay.
How did you tell him he was just a friend without actually telling him? You don't, because girls and guys can't be friends.
Yes! Yes! She's an avid listener. Yes!
I messaged her back and I said, you won at life.
You
know what's up.
Let's send her some merch.
You live in the real world is what you live in.
Yeah. Okay, how'd you tell him he was just a friend without... I don't even know how to say it, eh? Told him about my type in boys, and he was the opposite.
That's mean, bro.
That's intricate.
But I gotta say, that's actually probably the least hurtful way to do it, because, like, I think that would work in a way where his feelings aren't hurt that much. Like, he's gonna be like, oh, I'm just not her type. Like, now I know I can't even go for it.
Can I do it
What's
to
the
you?
point of
Can I
trying?
do it to you?
What?
I'm going to be the girl and say a type that's not you. Ready? Okay.
Nah, I'm not good. Nah, I'm good.
Ready?
I'm good. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Don't take it away from me. All right. 6 foot, brown eyes, tanned, dark skin, brown hair. Not you.
Close.
No,
Close.
No, not at all.
Close.
Not at all.
You got about 4 out of 5, mate. 4 out of 5. That first one, I hit that first one right on the mark.
That's literally a boy's mindset. She'd probably be like, doesn't know the height, and she says 6 foot. He's like, I'm in. I've got 1 out of 5. That's all I needed.
1 out of 5 is better than 0 out of 5, buddy. I'll get her. Use exclamation points instead of X's.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Or a smiley face.
Girls know what they're doing.
Girls do know what they're doing.
Back in the day, if I got a
Subtle
smiley
messaging.
face, I still would have been like, yeah, that's
Call this subliminal messaging.
Yeah,
That's what we call it.
Sublime. Sublime. Quote, I don't want to date anyone right now. That's the get out of jail free card that everyone uses the friend zone.
That's like saying you're too nice.
Yeah. Like, I'm not ready to date anyone.
I'm not ready, and then 2 weeks later she has a boyfriend.
Yeah. You were just a side.
You weren't even a side. You weren't good enough to be a side. I didn't even want to touch you with a 10-foot
You weren't even
pole.
the garlic bread. You were like
You weren't even the broccoli on my plate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know that piece of lettuce that like falls off when you're eating that chicken schnitzel?
Yeah.
That was him.
You know that leftover gristle that I feed to my dog? That's you.
Yeah, that's heavy.
How do you tell him he's just a friend without actually telling him? Quote, you can have your hoodie back.
Oh. No. If I give you a hoodie, I don't want it back if we're not talking anymore. Do you?
Yeah, imagine she's like, oh, here's your hoodie. And you go, no, you can keep it. She goes, no, you can have it. No, I don't want it. You'd be like, fuck. Oh, that would kill me.
That would kill me, dude. That would, you'd be like, I see what this is now. Just tell me you hate me. Just tell me. Okay, going off one of the other ones. Will you be my wingman tonight?
Fuck that, eh? Fuck that, bro.
Oh,
Well, that's menacing.
I know.
That is menacing. Oh, this is a classic. And you're going to hate it, but I think this has happened to millions upon millions of poor guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Quote, I wish I could find a boy like you.
Oh, I think, what do they mean by that? I think that has happened to me before.
I wish I could find a guy like you.
Yeah. I'm right here.
I am a guy like you.
Yeah. That's what we think. I'm right here.
You know what you could counter that with?
What?
Is, I wonder if a counter for that, a good one would be him going, yeah, would be good, wouldn't it? Fuck, I wish I could find a girl like you. Oh, I wonder if that'd like cut a counter.
Kind of. I reckon it goes.
And she'd be like, oh, now I want him.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah, I just wish I could find one like you. Though.
Okay, my last one. I don't think anyone would read onto this one, but let me know.
Oh, okay.
Let me know. Hugging him with the arms around his body and not his neck.
I reckon actually,
So around
I don't know.
the body, and you don't like the body touch, instead of going around the neck.
No, I don't know if I'd read that, but you know what I would read? If I got a hug and she tapped me on the back. Like a pat on the back.
That's friend.
That's condescending.
I don't reckon I'd read it because I get too anxious touching other people. I stress out
Yeah,
giving girls hugs. So I'm not thinking about the
If
placement.
Ollie and I are about to meet a new person,
Yeah.
and like if it's a dude, we know we're going to shake their hands comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
If we meet a new person and we're like, is this girl a hugger upon greeting? We're kind of like, one of us needs to either greet first and have the balls to not hug, go in for a handshake, or like just be like let's say I meet someone first, all right? And they go in for a hug and I do it, and Ollie in his head I know is like, fuck you, Jake, fuck you. Now we have to hug her every time we see her. I hate that.
Yeah.
I know you hate it. I hate it too, because when you do it I'm in my head, I'm like, fucking hell, Ollie.
Oh, I'm out.
I got one more. How did you tell him he was just a friend without actually telling him? I started calling him Big Fella.
Big fella, smelly fella. All right, big fella.
I feel like Big Fella is worse than being called like Champ or something like that.
Big fella.
I told an old boss of mine once that I started calling him Champ as an insult, and he didn't understand yet. And then I explained it to him, and he thought it was the funniest thing. Like he was cackling.
How old
and
is this
then
guy?
he's like 50 something, all right? He was cackling, and then every time I posted like something on Facebook or Instagram, he'd comment, "Nice photo, Champ."
That's pretty funny, actually.
And I was just like, fuck, I wish I never told
That's
him
the
that.
context it's meant to be used in from like an adult calling you.
Yeah.
Like, what's the age that a parent or like an adult can stop calling us buddy and it becomes like condescending? Like, because go to the gym and sometimes, oh, how's your day, buddy? And I was like, I don't know if I like that.
It's like, you're 28.
Yeah.
I'm 24.
Yeah.
We're basically peers. You didn't finish school. Not that I can say I did, but...
It's like, what's that age bracket?
Yeah, that's actually such a good question. Like, how much older than you? Like, if I get called buddy by a grandparent,
Yeah, who cares?
I still like it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm so cute.
But like, if you called me buddy, I'd be off.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm older than you.
Ready to record, buddy.
That.
Okay, everybody. Up next is dilemmas. You know what to do. Link in the description of the episode or link in bio of Instagram. Scroll to the bottom. It will say weekly dilemmas. Here we go. I am 20 and my boyfriend is 24. We've been together for nearly a year now. We barely ever argue and always laugh together, and he is perfect. However, I work in a heavily male-dominated industry, and he always makes comments and makes it clear that he doesn't feel comfortable with it. Due to the nature of my job, I often have to work with events outside of working hours, and this always causes a lot of friction between us due to me being outside working with men for a lot of hours. His excuse is, I trust you, but not other people. We've heard that before. He often causes arguments about this if I have an upcoming event. When I'm at the event, he'll be very blunt and argumentative with me, which causes me to feel like I'm doing something so wrong, and I end up apologizing and trying to make it up to him. He doesn't like it when I wear certain items of clothing when he isn't there, and he finds it disrespectful. What should I do? What do you think is a good point to bring up, and am I being disrespectful? I always text him throughout the events and let him know in advance if anything's coming up so he doesn't feel blindsided.
Oh man, like hearing it, I hate it. Like I don't like that at one single bit. And obviously, I understand that. You know, other than that, he's probably fine. But he just doesn't like what you do for work. But I think that's crazy.
So
She's in event management.
yeah.
And she works with, it's heavily in the
Maybe it's male performers. Who knows?
Yeah, wait. Are you working events with naked dudes?
But still, like, she's organizing the whole event. Like,
They're colleagues.
It's more, she's contractually obliged not to get with them even as well. Like, it'd be illegal.
It would be illegal.
But also, I wanted to say, firstly, I think she was maybe being a bit clouded because of love. Don't ever let any guy tell you that you can't wear something or you can't do something like that. Hey,
If you're comfortable,
yeah, that's the only thing that matters.
be comfortable.
Yeah,
I wonder if like
he's fucking insecure, and it's not your problem.
like he's very clearly very insecure.
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming one of the reasons that like I'm just assuming this, but she must be working with hot dudes. All right, and he thinks that they are better than him.
True.
It's not up to. It's like
They don't necessarily have to be hot. He could just think they're better
no,
than him.
yeah, true. But and like the same thing is like, you know, it's not fully up to you to make him feel secure. Like there's things you can do as a partner to make the other one feel secure.
Security comes from yourself, though.
But also he needs to be secure in his own body, his own mind, his own fucking life before it's like you have any part in doing that for him.
That's one of those check boxes you tick off before you get in a relationship. You're like proud and contempt of yourself. With the person you are, you don't need someone else to validate you. And he's obviously insecure. He probably thinks his girlfriend's better than him and she can run off at any moment, which is a terrible dynamic to have in a relationship.
Yeah. Did it say anything about in there like how did she say she really wants to stay with him?
Yeah, well, she said he's perfect otherwise.
Yeah.
Been together for a year. We barely argue and laugh and everything is perfect other than this one thing. But it's bigger than one thing. It's a few things.
It's a few events, obviously, or every event.
Well, I think she's doing everything right, like telling him in advance when an event's coming up.
She's doing more than she needs to do. It's her job.
Yeah, exactly. He should be able to respect and understand that that's what she does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here, like, what's a way to bring it up where, you know, I'm sure every topic has been brought up and every single, like every argument to make him feel secure has probably been brought up, you know, like she's walking on eggshells.
I think he's got to be put in his place a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I know a relationship is two people, but like at a certain time it becomes a him problem. Like, hey, this is my job. You either trust me or you don't. Like, I'm not getting with any other boys. This is your problem. You need to deal with it and just trust me. I think that's what you should say.
Yeah, I like that. I reckon next time he's like trying to, you know.
And he's been all like blunt and stuff when you're at work and you're trying to concentrate and he's been a little dog. Like, that's just immature too.
I think in this scenario, you shouldn't. I know it's so hard to disconnect from, but I think like I do genuinely think he's acting like a child.
Yeah.
So I reckon something you could try is if he's like acting like a child, tell him like you're going to treat him like a child. And say to him if he's having a little tantrum, even over text. I don't care if you do it over the phone or over text. If he's like trying to make you feel bad over text and he's being blunt, you can just be like, seriously, talk to me when you're done having a tantrum. Like, there's not that he needs to be told that this is a tantrum. Like, he thinks he's in the right. Like, he doesn't understand what he's doing is like selfish as fuck.
Yeah.
So I think that because this is the way you make money, this is how you make a living.
Yeah.
You know, this is how you genuinely make your money to pay rent. Like, it's ridiculous. This is your fucking career. If you, and like, he doesn't understand because he's too insecure in himself. I think one thing you can try is, so next time he's having a tantrum, just say, hey, talk to me when you're done having your tantrum because this is my job. This is how I make money.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is super selfish and I'm not going to baby you.
Yeah. And this isn't a healthy relationship.
No.
Like, at all.
Well, in that sense, no, not at all, because he's insecure. So I think you need to try and call him out on it. And then it's like depending on his actions based off of that, because I think what you're doing, if you said to him, yep,
I think she's already done enough at this point too for him.
Yeah, I say, tell him, tantrum, let me know when you're done. And if he fucking reacts bad, and he might break up with you, but it's going to be better for you in the end.
I'm even thinking what me and Jake do. We're both in relationships. We record for like majority of a day and we'll put our phones on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
Imagine if this girl put her phone on Do Not Disturb at work. I bet you her boyfriend would go ballistic.
Fuck, he needs to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's going to do that, maybe that's a little wake-up call. Like, this guy's pretty toxic.
Oh, yeah. Definitely sounds pretty toxic.
Yeah, like, you can't trust him for 8 hours when he's at work. She's at work, sorry.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I'd understand a little more if he was insecure, but he didn't make you feel bad about it. Like, he just was kind of like, oh, you know, it makes me a bit insecure, just so you knew. And then he didn't make you feel bad about it. And then you knowing that he's insecure, you just kind of do what you're doing already, where you just like, you know, tell him stuff, because like being honest from the start's always like the right thing, and just like letting him know what you're doing. But the way he's acting is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I just think, leave it on. Be you, dress however you want, do your job to the best of your ability, and tell him this is how it is. Because you're not in the wrong at all.
I also reckon so. He's clearly never been put in his place by anyone.
I think he was gaslighting her a little bit there.
He's never been put in his place by anyone.
Yeah.
And if you do it, he might have this like a massive tantrum. And just I like, you just have to see what happens, because obviously if you got to ask yourself, if this doesn't get fixed, would you even want to be with him forever? And if you're in your head, you're like, no, I wouldn't want to be with him forever if this doesn't get fixed. So what you have to do is you have to just almost push him to the edge, where he makes a massive mistake in blowing up for no fucking reason, breaks up with you or something, and then he comes crawling back and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm so insecure. And then you're going to be like, yeah, you fucking are. And just be like, no, not impressed. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll cut through it, but I think that's true.
I know. It's so hard to do when you love him. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. I know it is the hardest thing in the world to do. But you have to like ask yourself, is it that, or is it just gonna keep going the way it's going? Like, what would you prefer?
Especially you're a year in, like this is probably a good time to do it before it gets 3, 5 years in. When
yeah,
you
and then you
deep.
start holding on more.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Jake, we are both in relationships. We tell stories all the time.
Yes.
This is one of my, I want to see if you agree, one of my realizations. It's a very handy tip to have in a relationship. I want to know if you use it or if you agree or disagree with me.
Okay.
Because it's a little bit left field, but I use it quite often. And my girlfriend does too after we've like had a fight. It's to do with fights.
Yep.
So it's all about timing and people's emotions. So it's a tricky thing to understand, because say something, you and your girlfriend, or anyone listening, you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, any dynamic, something happens and one of you is really, really upset. There's something beautiful about timing, and rather than the natural instinct of a human is to deal with the problem right there and then.
Yeah.
But I realize, and me and my girlfriend implement it, that when one of us are heated in a really bad mood or something like that, that it's better to just let it process and sit and figure it out ourselves a little bit before we bring it to the other person and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we've had our two biggest fights because we just kept trying to solve the issue, and she was heated, I was heated, and just going back and forth, and we were saying things we didn't really mean. But now if one of us has something that's really, really bad, or like someone pisses the other one off, we sit on it, let us process the feeling and take away that initial anger and resentment and that you sort of thing. And now it's sort of, then we can talk about it openly and honestly and work through the problem. So a lot of relationship issues is all about timing. And it comes down to also being tired when you want to do it.
Fuck.
And things like that.
Boy, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I think this is really good.
You reckon?
I mean, I don't implement that, but I think that is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. Wow.
It happened we had our first fight, which is our biggest one, was like maybe 6 months into dating. And I said from the start, I wanted to go home and sit on it. And she's like, no, you can't leave when we're like this angry at each other. And I was like, no, I just want to go home and like sort myself out before I talk to you about it. And we could process that. And I didn't have this implementation yet, but I had that realization because after we settled down, we went to the beach and didn't talk to each other for a bit. And then we talked about it after it. I was like, fuck, it's easy to talk when there's all these emotions that like at the top of my heart.
Yo. Because sometimes in the heat of the moment, even if you remember, even if you actively remember it's me and you against the problem, not you and me against each other, it's still so difficult to I guess implement it. You know,
when you're in it, you can't say it, and it's always just like, you've done this to me and it makes me feel this bad. And it's always you, but it's never the we thing.
Yo, so what? So you wouldn't believe in how like some people are like, no, never go to bed angry. Like
that's the rebuttal. Is some people need to, because some people can't go away from the situation and deal with that anger. They have to resolve it before they can leave. Yeah. Which I can understand to an extent, but for me, I find it so much harder to resolve that problem if we're both heated and we're in it and our heads are like all fuzzy and we're just like hating each other.
That's a very, very good point. I take a long time to process things too. Like I'll go silent for a long time in an argument.
A boy's coping mechanism is to go silent, and girls hate that because they want to talk about it.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
So they want to talk about it and they say things, and then we don't want to talk about it at all, and then you just fucking hate each other even more. Yeah. So if we both go away from it, I process how I'm feeling so I can articulate what I want to say. Yeah. And she doesn't get as angry as well. Yeah. And then we come back together and have a normal conversation and we work through it. And that's how we deal with our problems.
Fuck. That's very, very healthy.
Healthy.
No, dude, I like it. So basically, okay, so there is people that you see these like old people in interviews that are giving, like they're like, what's your best advice to have a long marriage?
Yeah.
And how they'll be like, never go to bed salty.
Yeah.
So basically, so you'd be happy to go, well, not happy to, but you would go to bed salty if that meant that you get some time to.
I would, but I could sit on it for a night.
Or
when I just need an hour for my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like there's still a different time for those things. I could happily just dwell on it for a night, but I know she doesn't like to go to bed with that in the back of her mind.
Okay, yeah.
So if we had a fight at, I don't know, 3 o'clock, we'll say, oh, let's just sit on it on like, even if it's just different sides of the house.
Yeah.
Like I go on my computer and she goes and watch TV for a couple of hours and then we come back. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah. And then, you come back and that like, there's no, because you leave, heart rate's up.
Yeah.
You know,
you're there
face is red.
You're out to get someone.
Yeah.
Your love's there and someone's like affected that love and you're like, fuck.
Fucking like someone put you in a bench press and you're PRing, bro.
Yeah.
But you go, you settle down and take a breather. I really, really like that. I think that could be very well implemented.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, this is because one of Cassie's friends called her and something happened in a relationship and Cassie was talking about time and she goes, Oddie told me about this. I was like, I did too. I forgot about that. And I was like, that is a really good tip. And then I was like, maybe some other people might think it's a good tip too. Because like, you know, when you do things and you just sort of take it for granted and think everybody does the same thing.
Yep.
It was just one of those things. I was like, doesn't everyone do that?
I have this like thing where I like a lot of humans. I want to solve the problem.
That's what natural instinct is.
Yeah. Like I want to solve the problem because like I just I prefer it to be solved. You know, I'm just like, oh no, sitting on it doesn't feel good because it's like something in the back of my mind is like, we have to fix this and we have to fix this now. So some sort of talent in being able to be like, they're going to be mad at me for a few hours or a day or a few days, but we need to like really sit on it and think about how we both feel about it. And then, but when you come back to it, do you just like say how each of you feel? And what if these like feelings just fully haven't changed? And now you both just have these wicked good arguments because you've had time to think. Like you both have wicked arguments that are backing up both sides. And at what point are you like, we're never going to agree on this?
Well, there are always going to be points where you never agree on things. Yeah. But I think that time taking away from it takes away that initial fight and fire that you have when it first initially happens. That's what it works. It might not work for everybody. But it works for us because I'm thinking that because I've always had it and I can't think and articulate my thoughts. I just want to go silent. That's why I just want to go non-verbal.
Yeah. I can't.
And then it makes the situation so much worse. I'm like, I just need some time to process it.
I'm terrible in that situation because I go silent and then it's like, well, do you have anything to say? And it's like, well, I'm going to have something to say, but I literally can't process it that quick.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing to say right now, but I 100% will have something to say, but I need to think about everything that was said and I need to process it because right now I don't understand how you feel, but in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I could understand how you feel because that's like how I'm processing it. Like stuff needs to be explained because I don't know, like it's no excuse, but yeah, no, I'm one that needs time and I'm definitely going to.
And it's sort of also like, it feels kind of awkward to bring it up after it been a while because sometimes you just brush it under the doormat and if you're both happy after like a couple of hours.
Yeah, you're both kind of like, we're stupid.
Yeah, that sometimes happens, but also you need like that healthy little outlet system like me and my girlfriends call it, you want to have a check-in.
You need to try and...
Like you have like a little system there where you can openly talk about your feelings, or way we call it a check-in, but you can say like, let's have a chat. Yeah. Like you just have that there. So you don't have to have some like awkward, like just standing there and be like, so this is what it made me feel like. So do you think it's a little awkward sometimes to go away for a few hours and then come back and bring it back up? Yes.
So it's like you go away and then you make it, okay. Because I can see how that could be a bit awkward where you're in a heated argument, you can't figure it out. So you go, look, like, let's just both take an hour or two to see how we feel. And then when you're unheated. Yeah. You know? It's like you don't feel like talking about it anymore because it took so much energy. Like it takes energy, like mental energy to argue. And so then when you do come back, you're like, I honestly would rather just like sit down and watch a movie and cuddle you than keep arguing. And sometimes so then it just gets forgotten.
But sometimes that's all it needs as well. Like the problem is you two being so heated as well. Like sometimes you just need to hug it out.
Yeah.
And one of you says, I'm sorry, but in that moment when you're heated, they won't say sorry.
Yeah, fuck no. They believe what they're saying.
Yes. Yeah. I've done it before. I've been like, has it ever clicked when you're in an argument and you're like, holy shit, I am being fucking wrong here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
all the time.
And used to, I would have just kept going. I've got to double down on myself.
Yeah, no, I am very rarely right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm just I'm about as stupid as they come, folks. Actually, you know what? Could be Patrick.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I might need that pink jumper. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's from. That's what it's from.
Yeah.
But that was me tip.
Yeah, I like that tip.
Yeah.
That's a really good tip.
Leave it on that.
Thanks for listening, guys. If you want more, you know where to go. Patreon.
Patreon.
$5 a month. $1.75 a week.
17 cents a day.
Go
So much
Master.
content on there. And big thank you, because this is the Monday when it's coming out, to anyone who got their hands on the hoodies.
Thank you so much.
The release was a great success.
Look at 'em.
Even though it's happening tonight, but it was a great success.
Hopefully it's a great success.
Either way, we love anyone who's listening or engaging with any of our stuff. So we'll see you later. Bye.